Hello. Hello, hello. 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 Good evening. Good evening, boys and girls, and welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. How to make an MMO during your spare time. I was thinking if it could be a good idea to have a kind of a countdown. For the start of the stream. I don't know, because maybe some of you, connect and see the fact that there is the loading, stream will start soon, but then, you don't know exactly how much time. I see that many streamers have a kind of a countdown displayed on the stream, and I was looking if there is a way. I mean, there are many ways, I think. There are many ways. I don't know. Maybe I will put it. Do you think it will be valuable or not? I mean, usually I start within 1 or 2 minutes, so it's not really. But sometimes people like to have, the thingy. Okay. So yesterday we successfully upgraded to 426. Which is great. It was actually simpler than I was expecting. Yes, we had to do a few tricks, that's true. So we had to force a bit ALS into the new release, and also we had to change a few files because something was not fully compatible. True. But I think was fairly easy. So my suggestion is that we officially, I want to do few more tests, and then we officially upgrade. We officially tell to every other developer or people that have access to the SVN that we upgrade, and we check in the file so they can start to upgrade as well. I don't know exactly what I want to test. I think no, I think I'm not gonna test it more actually. I think it's good. I think we should check it in and that's it, without testing it more. We tested a bit yesterday, and I think it's fine. So let me see the files that I changed. Okay. So the Visual Studio can remain the same version. So update to 4.26.2 minus release. Everyone should update, right? Everyone should update. So I think in the engine file there is not really much. Let me see if my face is still big. Yes, my face is still big. Hello Tony, hello Hula. Hello, welcome to also the other people that joined. Hello. Okay, I'm just checking if there is any. So here we don't have anything. Here we don't have. Actually, this one we need. But anyway. This one. Let me save it like this. This one we will put it in. The modified map, obviously not. The Dryken stuff, I would say no for now. This one, yes, because we actually changed it. And this one is important because it's using, yes, the new camera. This one, I don't think so. I think it's just changing the... okay, because I added the plugin for the Niagara conversion, but it's not needed. This one, yes, this one is required, otherwise it doesn't compile. This one is required, and this one also is required, because there are some changes to this. Okay, good. So, I think these are all the files. Okay, so I'm going to check it in. The other thing that I want to do, but I need to do it from another PC, is to check in. I had one file. Okay. My mobile being annoying. I have one file that I modified from another PC, which is from my laptop, which is a new version of the ALS demo level that I want to change as well. That I want to check in. So ALS demo level to test ALS demo level to test run glitch. Okay, I will check that in also from the other PC, so which is good. Now that we upgraded everything, let me just send a message to the other people. So I will do everyone. You can update to 4.26.2 minus release. Instructions are on the wiki page, and I will link them to the wiki page, right? Which is this one, which we need to edit and change. Because I think that here there is already, yes, there is the 4.26 now. And 4.26. Okay. So we save the changes here, but also, what links here? PS Unreal. There is also this one I need to change. 4.26. Okay, so we have it here. So I will link them the wiki page. So in the section update Unreal Engine, right? Okay, so I sent it to everyone. We updated the page, and I think we are good. Now I don't know if when we go under Windows, yes, we have it here as well. I think we have it pretty much everywhere. So I need to change it to 26. Also in these sub pages. I think it's the same on Linux. Probably. Yes, it is. So we need to change it also in these pages. Wait. I basically want to change it only here. This other one, I don't know if it's really 26. Okay, and we do it also for Mac. Yes, you see there is 25. There is 25 here. Okay, so we changed it hopefully everywhere, right? So we are going to 4.26.2 minus release. So if you are helping us on any of the Unreal stuff, you should also update to 4.26.2 minus release. The minus release is particularly important because is pointing to a tag, okay? It's not pointing to the head of the branch, and that may get updated. Now, considering they already had you know, new hot fixes, I think they will not, but in any case, it's important that you check out exactly this tag, right? Okay, so we are officially on 4.26, which is very nice. Now, what I wanted to do tonight was to study a bit the water system, the new water system, to understand if we can use it, how we can use it, what are the capabilities, if it's heavy, it's not heavy, and things like that. So I think the best would be probably to create a new project, a new clean project, so that we don't have to mess up with the with plane shift at the beginning. So we will just launch the editor and create a new project that we will call probably water system. But yes, we're gonna do this. Okay, let me see if I can find the demo level. Okay, I did that. Is the editor starting or what? Okay, started. So let's create a new project. Starting from the third person, which I think is great, is always the best. And I don't know if there is a demo level already, but maybe there is. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. Wait a second. Wait a second. Let me see if they added. Let me see if they added a demo level for water systems. Now, where to find it is a good question. But in theory, should be or under learn or under library. You see that the full demo is there. Camera VFX example, chaos destruction demo, virtual camera phase, spatial pixel streaming demo, virtual studio, composure framework, subway sequence, infiltrator demo. I don't know if they updated any of the legacy samples. I don't see it here. I don't see it here. So, or they didn't release any, but we can search. We can search. We can search for Unreal Engine 426 water demo. There's a water tutorial. Water mesh actor. Doesn't seem to have something to download. Let me see additional resources. Okay. Okay, but I think we need to go through this, boys. We need to go through this. Ah, yes. So this is the 35 minutes training, you know, or anyway, introduction.
And in this video, we're going to dive into the brand new
I think we should watch it.
of Unreal Engine 4.26.
It's 35 minutes. I mean, it's not...
I will walk you through how easy it is to quickly get an ocean, a lake, and a river set up, as well as dipping our toes into some of the more specific or advanced capabilities of our amazing new water system. So we're going to start off with the intro and the basics. So essentially how to set up a basic body of water, you know, what is it dependent on, it's going to depend on landscape and so forth. And then once we've gone through that, we're going to look at some of the important settings and properties, you know, things like post-processing that gets activated automatically when you go underwater. We're going to go forward by then taking a look at the overall architecture of how the water feature in the engine has been done. So you get a deeper understanding of how everything ties together, the different components, the different actors, what it actually does behind the scenes, that kind of thing. And then we're going to go back to the example scene. I'm going to take a look at a couple of more deeper features. They're still going to be near the surface, but things like, for example, how to cut a hole in the water, how to make a larger wave like a mega wave, how to make things float on the water, and so on. So a bit more advanced use and some examples of how the rest of the engine can tap into the water system. And then finally we're going to wrap up and talk about performance. So exactly where is the performance cost with water, what are some of the CVARs you can use, and finally what are we planning to do in the future. Well, let's get started. So in a few minutes we're going to move over to the real scene, and this is the real scene that we're going to work with. So over the last 2 or 3 months, I've built this beach scene with a lighthouse and so on. So that's going to be the scene we're going to work in. We're going to first off, however, start with a very basic level, just to go through the basics in a very clear, very clean and simple level. So there isn't too convoluted, or aren't too many, you know, settings and actors and things going on. So, but we'll get to this scene in a few minutes. And before we go there, I'd also just like to highlight that we're using Quixel Megascans, especially for the ground and terrain textures. A lot of marketplace assets. So thank you to Polypusher Studios, Nature Manufacture,
Beach
George Shaftsnev, IndieG, 60 FPS, Ayosido Software, and Project Nature. I'm using content from all of them. And also a big thanks to the Unreal Engine engineering team in general, but in particular Kevin Ortegren.
Okay.
But let's get started. So, in terms of intro and basics, we're going to start off very, very simple by using this simple, basic little island. It's very gray. It's basically a gray box level. We've got a nice cloud setup going on, a nice atmosphere, but would like to have an ocean added to this particular scene. Now, the first thing to note is that in its current iteration, and water does have to be pointed out, it's still an experimental feature. Okay, so it's very work in progress, but in its current state, it's very dependent on a landscape. That's the topic we're going to discuss all the way at the end of this video as well, but it requires a landscape. So we have a landscape here, and then the next thing it requires is that enable edit layers has been enabled on that landscape. So I've done that already.
Enable edit layer. Okay, I think we can follow this. We can follow this tutorial. I don't know if I can move it maybe on the other screen while we work on this one, but yeah, I think we can start with third person blueprint, ray tracing disabled, and we will call it water test, and we're going to create it, yes, exactly there. And we are going to maybe I can keep this one, you know, kind of on the other screen, and so while I go through it I don't have to can I get the link? No, too hard. Okay. Copy link. Okay. Now because I'm putting it on the other screen.
Its current state is very dependent on a landscape.
Okay, so what he's saying is that in this level, which is now, you know, a test level, we need actually to add a landscape object, which I don't remember how to do it because I did it a long time ago, but I think it's just is this guy? Is it this guy or not? I don't think so. Fuck. Okay. I think the first thing we need to understand how to add a landscape, because we did it in PlaneShift like million years ago, and now I don't remember. Creating landscapes. If some of you knows it, please tell me. Hello, Jean. Ah, yes, he's here. Mode landscape. I remember now. Yeah, but mode landscape is automatically adding a landscape for you, or ah, yes, I think it's automatically adding. We have this landscape gizmo active actor as a default. No landscape. New. Fuck, can I... because it needs a material. Can we import it from our... Holy shit. Oh my god, the landscape quality, boys. The landscape quality. I don't understand why it's so fucked up, but I think that the material, what it doesn't like is the material. Maybe it lost in the material selection, but it's okay. Okay, I made a landscape that at least has some okay. I think now it with a kind of a sandy area is more understandable. At least it's more understandable if I create a mountain or something. Okay. Yeah, in plane shift we already have it set up, so is and I don't remember how we did it at the beginning, but it's okay. Okay, so we have our thingy here. Now, I just wanted to have like two. I just wanted to have two materials. Why so hard to? Do I need to manage the materials in another place? Landscape material. Landscape material overrides. I remember that we had landscape material layers, no? Why is not here? I don't remember if it was from I think it was here. Paint, edit layers, layers, target layers. Where do you add a new? Because this one seems to be one texture, right? But in reality, I want to have it multi-texture. A material, okay. Display any layer that are part of your landscape material. Okay. Yes, exactly. So it's the material that has the layers. Material expression landscape layer blend. Yeah, it's a bit more complex than what I was thinking. But I don't know if I should just import it from... it's strange. Isn't there already a landscape material? No, huh? In the demo stuff, there is no landscape multi-layer. Okay, we don't care. We will have the water, so it's okay. I mean, this is not the greatest, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's not spend time on this because we did it already anyway. In the other level. So let's say that we have this. Now the only thing that this guy is saying is that we need to have enable edit layers on, right? Toggle whether or not to support edit layer on this landscape. Toggling this will clear the undo stack. Okay, so we need to have it enabled. This is what he's saying. And then
water is as simple as looking for water in the place actor panels, and this does, by the way, require.
Okay, so then he's saying to go back to your normal mode and what? Why his menu is different than mine? Do I need to enable it? I think it's this thing. Do you think it's this thing? It doesn't actually...
You to enable water as a plugin, so it's a plugin.
Ah, yes, he said it now.
Look for water, and you'll see the different water.
Yes. He said I need to enable this. Wow, it's version 0.1. This scares me a bit. Experimental version 0.1. Ay. That already makes me less interested, but okay, let's just try to test it a bit and see what it does, okay? 0.1. I mean, plane shift 0.1 was really not that good, but maybe Unreal Engine stuff 0.1 is better. So we enabled the plugin and we are now reloading. At least we are trying to. We are trying. 100% CPU. Shader compiling. I think if you add the water system, is also adding, you know, new content, which is the actual water shader. So I think that now what it's doing is okay. So now in theory we have it. I just don't know why the menu of this guy is nicer than my menu. Like he has here. Why? Why his menu is nicer? I don't know. His menu is a bit nicer than mine, but okay. So basically he has small icons here to split. Instead of having these things to the left, he has them at the top. But I guess it's the same. Okay, anyway, if I select water now, that I enable the plugin, as you can see, I have all this stuff. Water body custom, water body exclusion volume, water body island, island, okay. Water body lake, water body ocean, water body river, water brush, water landscape brush, okay.
Types show up. So I'm going to start off with an ocean. I'm going to drag the ocean in. You can see there's a spline associated with it. And again, we'll explain that later too. It's because of landmass.
Okay.
You drag it in and you have an ocean.
You drag it in and you have an ocean.
You immediately get to water. You get nice waves.
Oh shit. Well, yes and no. I mean, I can put my landscape a bit lower maybe. Or I can put my ocean higher. Well, it's compiling shaders, but it's not really working as in the demo. Or maybe it will. Meaning that it's compiling a million shaders. Landscape edition, waiting for edit layer resource to be ready. Okay, for edit layers resource to be ready. Yeah, we clicked on edit layers, right? So maybe we need to wait but anyway, you get something like this, and you get a spline, right? Which is this spline, which is a circular spline.
Everything is there. In fact, you could go underwater. It looks underwater. And that's essentially it. So it's as simple as click and drag and you're good to go. Now in the middle we have this ocean actor.
Ocean actor, yes.
You can see it's a little bit weird with the landscape because it's you know, it carves it out. So I'm going to lower it a little bit until it kind of matches the elevation of the existing landscape. And then I'd like to set one of these settings to fall off, not to angle but to width. It gives a smoother fall off. But that's basically it. Now we can go the next step and we can add a lake to the middle of the island over here. So in this relatively flat area,
I think we need to
add a
wait
lake.
the shaders to pop
Same
up.
thing, just drag it in, click there. It has a spline associated from the landmass system.
He's saying that we can drag a lake in the middle of this. So he dragged this one. And he's basically, what he's doing is to make the shape of the spline, you know, match our shape. Right? Is there an icon for the lake as well or not? Yes, there is. So let's say, for example, like that. Now, this thing seems to go outside as well, right? He's working in squares. I don't know exactly why, but he has a kind of a square. I guess I can add another. I guess I can add another select spline point. I guess I can add a new spline point. Probably. Some way, somehow. Add spline point here. Okay. Okay. That was easy enough. Okay, so we have in theory our lake here in the middle. Now we're still compiling shaders, we should wait for it, but let's try to go on. So basically you decide, I just don't understand too much what, how you need to set, you know, this spline, because okay, for the lake is easy, but for the ocean, is this one delimiting the kind of island? So everything that is inside the spline, and why is so squared, by the way? This is what I don't understand. But maybe when you finish calculating, it would not be so squared. So let's see.
And it carves into the landscape. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. You can do the same with the island, by the way. I left the spline on the island as is, but you can always modify the spline. You can right-click it, you can add points to it.
Yes, he's explaining how to add the spline.
So you can do something like that.
The weird thing that is happening, at least for him, is that while he's modifying the spline, it looks like also the terrain is modified, but in my case, it doesn't happen. But it looks like that when he's doing this, there is a bit of a effect also on the landscape. Again, maybe because he didn't finish the calculations. That's possible.
That angle to width makes for a smoother fall.
But there's definitely a difference.
What you have is a simple little
Try holding Alt and drag the
way,
gizmo to make another point.
And so on. Next up are rivers. They work in pretty much exactly the same way. So I'm going to drag a river in. I'm going to connect the lake to the ocean, roughly around this point over here. Drag it in. I'm going to have to move these points over.
Okay, next what he's doing is dropping in a river. Okay, so he's dropping in this. And I don't know exactly how to connect it, but he basically dropped it inside. And then... okay, this spline is going a bit places, but Okay, now our ocean start to be an ocean. The problem is that it's covering the lake. Let me see if we go underwater. No, underwater is not underwater. While for some reason in this case, when he goes underwater, is but maybe because he's still compiling, he started to recompile more shaders. I don't know if he knows that he's intersecting. Probably he knows that he's intersecting the lake. But I don't know if we need that to be the same height as the lake. We can try to place it as similar as possible. I mean, as close as possible. Yeah, but the end result is a bit different.
Bit. If I can rotate the first point a bit as well to be correct, or maybe not. I can leave that. I'm going to drag it a bit more deep.
So the main difference I see is that maybe it's because my layer is all at 0. But basically what I see is that from the video is that the landscape is getting changed. The landscape is getting changed. What? Can you do it? Edit layer, water or alpha? You see that now we have a what? Control click to raise. Okay, let's do something. Let's remove the river 1 second. Let's go one step at a time, because I think that I added too much stuff and now let me remove the river and let me remove the lake 1 second. No, the lake, let's leave it. So I don't understand why. So I have landscape 1 selected, okay, and I go in landscape mode. And then I want to sculpt it and to raise this part. Why is not working? Okay, let me try to make a ramp. A ramp usually works. Add ramp. Now, there is something that combined layer operations. You mean? It seems that since I added the water, the landscape is not reacting anymore to editing. Okay. You know, in theory, when you do this and you click on add ramp, it's modifying the landscape, but in this case, it's not doing it. Water brush manager. Layer alpha. No, since I added this, water is not anymore doing what I'm used to see. So let me remove the lake 1 second. So let me remove the lake and let me remove the ocean as well, okay? And let me try, by the way, Ah, probably because the water is modifying the thingy. Yeah. I think I understand. So the point is that I can make a ramp as much as I want. You see, and he's adding the ramp. But if you have the water is like shaping the landscape. Mainly the lake, probably. The ocean, I think it should not, but... Okay, so let me try again to do... to add the ocean now. Now, if we had a better color, I think it would be a bit easier, but... Let me try to raise the ocean. You see that it's modifying the landscape? You see this... So if I raise, maybe it's not very visible, but if I raise or lower this, you see, is automatically creating a kind of a barrier, you know, of landscape. Okay. So it's basically creating the shore, okay? It's creating the shore for us. It's creating the shore for us. So now the point is, if I go here and I try to edit the landscape again, right? And just sculpt it, you see that I don't have the same, I don't have this capability anymore. I know I do. At least here I can do it. Here in the middle I can do it, so I'm creating something, and it's actually getting created. Let me see if I can create it here on the... You see? Here is not possible, because I think that this part is managed by the water plugin trying to create the shore. Right? So, I don't think in this area I can really do anything. Maybe I can do something... yes, by the way, there is underwater now. Maybe I can do something far away, but it seems not. So it seems that your ocean is basically creating a mesh which is everywhere in your level except where you have the where you have this spline. So if I change my spline, you see, it's pushing automatically the water away, making a... I think that this is probably then configurable, huh? Curve settings, you see, so I think you can probably decide curve ramp width. At the moment is 8,000. If I do 4,000, yes, you see the ramp is much smaller. So you can decide this kind of parameters to decide how deep it goes down. You see how deep it goes down now? Compared to if I put it at 4,000. There is way more shallow water, you see? So yes, you can decide you can decide this. And I see there is also a channel depth. I put it to 1,000, it made it bigger. I put it to 100. Yeah, it is very, very, very shallow water forever, right? So you can control it this way. Now, I don't know if... That is a bit annoying though, because if I want to create another island... you probably have the island thingy. Water body island. So that's probably why they created the island, because maybe you need to drop it here. And then maybe inside of this you can modify the landscape again. or not. Now, it seems that in the ocean, there is no way. So when you have the ocean, basically that part is impossible to modify. So the ocean is just the ocean. Probably you can have this island. Inside. Maybe. I don't know, I should look at the tutorial, I guess. But so you have this island like this. So the point is the island allowing me to... I can sculpt on the side of the island. You see, I can sculpt in this part, but not on the island itself, for whatever reason. I can sculpt outside, but not in the island. That's kind of weird, huh? It's kind of very weird. Okay, let's delete the island 1 second. Yeah, there is the mess that I did with the ramps before. So, because we had the ocean here, and I don't understand too much these brush sides and why, while you are on the water, is not really allowing you to see the sides. And here, for some reason, I cannot change anymore this thing. I don't know why. It's like if there is a... It's like if there is a square, you know, that is managed by the ocean itself. And I cannot change it anymore. For some reason, I cannot change it anymore. I can change the sides, but I cannot change this. Now, I guess if I delete the ocean, I will be able to. So I deleted the ocean. No. It is very strange, boys. The water layer will be deleted, yes. Yeah, exactly. You see that when you add the water thingy, it's basically adding a layer. Maybe I can paint on that layer. And I don't know why my mouse is creating this weird effect. Right? It is very strange, boys. It is very strange. Okay, I think we start to understand why it's called experimental, maybe. Ocean. Okay, so I put the ocean again. Now that I deleted the water layer, I think I'm fucked, because it's not working anymore. So I think I need to create a new landscape. But I don't know why there is this thing. Why my mouse is like this? That is so strange. And you see, as a default, it doesn't have the water layer, right? As a default, it does not. Then I can sculpt like normally. I mean, I feel I can sculpt normally, but if now I add my water thingy, no, now it's not working anymore. I think when I deleted that layer, I did something bad. Because you see, actually the water layer doesn't exist anymore. I can recreate it and see if it helps. But it seems not. Uh-oh, I think we broke it. I think we broke it, boys. I think we broke it. Let me try to put something else, but like a river. But you see that nothing is happening anymore? Nothing is happening anymore. And the reason is that our landscape doesn't have what it needs to have. Okay, so let me try to remove all the landscape stuff completely. And these water actors and all this stuff, right? So I have basically, I'm back to my third-person sample level. And let me try to do again landscape, enable layers, create. So when you do that, it does two things. You add a landscape object and he adds a landscape gizmo active actor. But still we don't have our water thingy. Now, if I add an ocean now... now it works again. Yeah, it's a bit fragile if you do... Okay, and now if I select my landscape... Let me just see if now the landscape has the water layer. Yes, and now we added back the water layer. So, I think the way it works is that starting from scratch, you add your landscape and then you add the water plugin, and the water plugin is automatically changing your landscape to have this additional water layer that if you delete it, you are going to do a mess. Okay, so you should not touch it. But let me see if I can sculpt on the water layer. No, I cannot. If I can sculpt on this layer, not either. And the point is because this part is managed by the plugin, so it doesn't allow you to change the shape. What you can change is the stuff that is inside the spline. I really don't know why my cursor is doing this weird effect, like if there is a missing material, but I have no idea. So we're going to add a lake. And we will try to modify the spline of the lake to match with our and you see that as soon as I'm moving the spline is changing the landscape, so it's basically taking over the height map. It's taking over the height map. And by the way, I cannot go up or down with one, so he's forcing you to have the lake as an horizontal thingy, which by the way makes sense, I would say. You can lower the wall lake, but you cannot lower a single point of the spline, and as you can see, is completely managing the height of the stuff. So now inside the lake again, I think I cannot sculpt here. I cannot sculpt here. I can only sculpt outside, you see? Outside the area that is automatically managed by this lake thingy. Which I would say is super annoying. I mean, it's beyond annoying. It's super annoying. Unless, you know, I do kind of a zero fall off. Maybe there is the possibility to have a zero fall off thingy, so that instead of, let me do 0 here and 0 here and see what happens. No, 0 here is making the lake invisible. Okay, so that's not a good idea. Okay, so the channel depth I think is the inside. Okay, now I don't know why it did it like this, but 320, 200. Okay, so here we are changing the values to decide how the ramp going down is. So the more, I guess that the more, yes, the more shallow this will be. But I cannot change the outside. Let me see. Falloff settings. Falloff mode, angle 45 degree. Okay, so I can do 90 degree and it will go down. Okay. Now this is a bit extreme, obviously. Probably is not a good idea. But you can decide the angle at which. The only problem I see is that he's not keeping it sane. He's not keeping it sane. Like the water is going. The water is going outside. Ah, I see. So you can decide the distance of the water compared to the edge. Okay, so you can say that the water is at 200 units from the edge, and so in this case your lake will be like this. Probably better to do it by hand. Yeah, I'm trying to understand, you know, if but you know, we really need to learn it, because maybe there are ways, right? But I find it a bit annoying that I cannot sculpt here, but let me see now that I have a very steep fall off, and I want to see if I go back to landscape, sculpt, and I want to sculpt here on the side. Yes, then you can. Okay. Okay, so I think it makes more sense. So it's basically, yeah. So he's only managing the angle that you decide, that you define, right? So unfortunately, the original angle is super wide like this, and so basically you cannot change anything. But if you make the angle very, very steep, which is probably the best idea, then you can sculpt very close to the lake, right? And now probably if I use flatten, and but the flatten is tricked, because the flatten doesn't know. The flatten thinks that this is 0 level, you know. So if I try to flatten this corner, you see, is not bringing stuff up. Unless maybe I place my lake to level 0. And then I go and then I go deeper than 0. Yes, and then I say flatten, and obviously it will flatten it properly because it will consider this 0, I guess. So yes. Yeah, the problem is that you cannot have all your lakes at 0, so you will have some lakes that you want to have in a different... But the other problem I see is that the gizmo is completely fucked up. So the gizmo is insanely fucked up. So usually you have a kind of a round marker, you know, to paint your landscape. Here it seems that this marker is completely gone. But I have to say, you can have a decent control, huh? A decent control. The problem is that you have the control only outside of the delimited area of the plugin, right? Can I just search water, Unreal Engine, water, plugin, gizmo, landscape, gizmo error? I don't know. I mean, the gizmo is going completely crazy. And I think it's going crazy only when you have a water body, right? Because let me delete everything and see. Yeah, let me delete all the water stuff that was added. So now we don't have anything. So I will just add the landscape, right? No, but you see that it's fucked up anyway. Is it because I'm not creating the landscape the proper way or what? It's kind of weird. Should we let me open up our project 1 second and see if there is a problem in 426 on painting landscapes. Or maybe it is only when you have the water plugin enabled. Maybe. That's possible. Anyway, it seems to be still a bit rough, huh? Still a bit rough. I will show you now the landscape tool, right? And if I go maps, I open this one, which has the landscape, which has one landscape. Need to change this PC, huh? At the moment the CPU is not 100% though. It's something else. So it is the landscape, right? Okay, now this area is a bit rough because actually we deleted a lot of stuff, but so it's not the way it should be. Okay, so this is the area. So if I go in landscape mode, right, and I want to paint, yes, you see that here we have all our layers, first of all. So we have forest, desert, grass. But then if I go in sculpt, it's the same. Wow. There is the same problem. Holy shit. There is the same problem, boys. So it's like if... Is it possible that in 426 too there is this regression or something? There is a big regression. I mean, you can still sculpt, but you don't see the gizmo. You don't see the gizmo in 426 landscape gizmo checkerboard. What the fuck? No, it has nothing to do with that. What the fuck? No, but this is old stuff. I mean, this is happening since 426, at least for me. What the fuck? I mean, you can still do it, but it's very strange that you cannot paint. Gian, are you on 426? Can you try to paint? You see that as soon as I go in sculpt or smooth or any other, not under manage, but if I go under paint or under sculpt, whatever I try to select is like the additional layer that you usually have. The additional layer that you usually have to display the gizmo is gone. And so instead of visualizing that, is giving an error. We should have an error, by the way. We should have an error of missing material. Here it is. Here it is. We have the error, actually. He's saying that he cannot compile. He's saying that he cannot compile editor landscape resources, pattern brush material, smooth U asset. Failure to compile material instance with base circle brush material for platform PCDM SM5, the full material we use in game. You see? So he's not able to load the brush. What the fuck? I think we can search it and open it and see if it gives an error. Because actually it's here, eh? is under engine content, editor landscape resources, and then pattern brush material smooth. Pattern brush. Yeah, you see the checkerboard? It's a checkerboard because this one is a checkerboard. And this one is a checkerboard because I don't know. Wow. This transformation is only supported in the surface material domain. What the fuck? What the what? Git status is not giving any error on. I mean, it's not giving any changes, so it's like if we didn't change any of the file, right? So, but this means that this brush is not compiling, boys. It is a standard Unreal Engine brush, and for some reason on my machine it's not compiling. Let me try on the other machine, because I have it. I have 426.2 also in another machine. It is a bit of a mess though, huh? But I think we will have soon a 426.3. I don't know, that seems like a regression. Wait a second, I'm on the other machine. I'm starting the editor on the other side as well, just to check. But basically this thing is saying that the transformation is only supported in the surface material domain. So basically it's saying that this material should not be translucent, but should be surface or whatever. Should not be user interface, but should be surface. I mean, why the hell is user? Maybe because I tried to use it and he changed it. Because you see that now is okay. But in theory, if now I save it, it may work, but shouldn't Git tell me that we have a modified file? Doesn't give a shit. Why Git status is not telling me that the file is changed if I changed it and saved it? Why Git is so stupid? I want to see all the file modified. Usually with Git status is saying yes, right? Git diff. Git diff is telling me only about the XML node, this XML parser. Okay, anyway, this is gonna fix it. Circle brush material now is fixed, so in theory, you see? Now is okay. Now is fine. So you need to change this to surface instead of whatever. Circle brush material. Anyway, to me, I don't know, or I change it on my side, or I want to see all my local changes in Git. I want to list all my local changes. Is it not Git status? Fuck, I hate Git. I hate freaking Git. Why they cannot just be a... Because it's binary, cannot do it? I mean, even if it's binary, you should tell me that the file has been changed. Let me try to explicitly ask for that file. Git status of... But anyway, like this is working. Which is okay. So we fixed that. So engine content, editor landscape resources, and then circle brush material. So I want to see the status of this file, okay? Nothing to commit. What do you mean nothing to commit, bro? It's different. I changed it. What the fuck? Okay, multiply by 5. Okay? Now we're multiplying this by 5. I apply and I save. Right? Okay. Can you tell me the status of this? Nothing. Nothing to commit. Working tree clean. What the fuck? Yeah, I think it is under yeah, I think it is tracked. How do I know if it's tracked? Can I do a git log of that one? 0. It doesn't exist. I don't know, it doesn't give a shit about it. It doesn't give a shit about this thing. 0. Okay. Let me try with another one, just to understand if I'm going crazy or if because maybe I'm just going crazy, you know? Is in the ignore or something? I don't think so. Like the cone asset is a basic one, you know? And it's saying nothing to commit. Anyway, that file is fucked, boys. This file, by the way, let me see how it looks with multiply by 5. Wow. It's very strong. No, it's too much. Let's go back to multiply by 2. Okay, we need to do this change anyway. Otherwise you cannot paint. I mean, you cannot paint properly. I would like to know if this file is identical in the repo compared to the one that I have. I don't understand why. I mean, because, for example, if I... wait a second. No, I'm in the right... No, I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place. I mean, if I change any of the sources, right? So if I go here, I take, I don't know, this one, right? Any file. I open it. And I say, hello, changed file. And I save it. Right? And I do a git status. I hope. Yes, you see? He sees it. He automatically sees it. So it's because it's binary that he doesn't do it? Git doesn't detect binary file changes. Why Git doesn't recognize that my file has been changed? I'm trying to push my files. I'm uploading newer files. Nothing to commit. What is the output of gif diff? It's empty. I had a problem where once upon a time, assume unchanged. I can tell Git to stop ignoring changes. I don't know, boys. Check out git ignore. Okay, git ignore. Maybe git ignore is ignoring all the uasset, but I don't think so, boys. Git ignore. Oh my god. Ignore all files by default, but scans all directories. What do you mean ignore all file by default? So is ignoring everything except the text files. .uasset. .uasset is not here. So uassets are ignored by Git? What the fuck? By default? I don't understand, boys. Content? Ignore content folders? What do you mean? What do you mean ignore content folders? What do you mean ignore content? What do you mean? What do you mean ignore content folder? Come on! I mean, the content folder is where you do everything that you do. It's the most important folder of the game. What do you mean ignore content? Why? Okay, anyway. He's ignoring content, boys. So no one will ever know that it is bugged. Okay, anyway, we fixed it. Who cares? Noobs. Okay, let's go back to our example, because at least now we fixed that problem. So maybe now we finally see the thing the way it should. Sorry, I'm lost in my own directories. Where am I? Unreal Engine, no. Unreal Engine project, water test. I think it's a bug of 26.2. It's a bug of 26.2. Should I post it on... no, it's too easy to fix anyway. Everyone will figure it out, I guess. Okay, now. Look at this beautiful pool, huh? So now let me try to paint... Fuck. What the fuck? No, wait. It's compiling shaders. Because I changed it. Ah, you see? How nice it is. Look how nice. Very smooth. Look at this. Okay. So this is better. So it was not the fault of the water plugin, okay? So it was looking weird, but actually it was not his fault. We immediately blamed the water plugin, saying, oh, it's breaking everything and the water plugin is a shit. But yeah, you see that as soon as you place the lake, it completely overrides your height map. Your height map in that location. So you may have sculpted whatever you want, right? You see? Is really going over it. It's going from 0 to, you know? Because now he has 45 degrees. I don't know if I agree to this thing, by the way, but I mean, why they did it this way? I don't know. Okay, you can change. We saw that you can change the fall off angle. So fall off angle, if you do 80, boom, it becomes like this, right? So you have ways to fix it, and then you can have your lake not bleed like that, because you can say that your channel edge is -100 or whatever, you know, and so it's not bleeding anymore. And then you can say that the inside is you can say that the inside what happens? You can say that the inside is 800, and so you make it way deeper, or 2000. You make it super deep, right? And you can make any shape you want, so you can go here and add spline point, and you can drag this point like this, and your lake becomes something crazy like that. Well, it's not bad anyway. It's not bad, it's not bad, it's not bad, it's not bad, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I don't know the cost at runtime of this, but hopefully it's calculating the height map only one time, so it's not really, you know, it's not really costing you, hopefully. But it's pretty cool. Hello, lake. Hello, lake. I think we will never use the ocean, by the way, because we don't have an ocean. Except at the level 6 where we have a giant lake. But we don't have an ocean. So, but we have rivers. Okay, let me try to add a river. Let me try to add a river. Okay. So I want to connect... Holy moly, the performances. I want to connect this river to that thingy. Yeah, it's a bit extreme, I understand. But, you know, it's just to test. Probably that's not a good idea, huh? But I think that the only problem at the moment is that the river is not deep enough. I think if I make the river a bit deeper, it would probably work. I don't know why sometimes I'm underwater and sometimes I'm not. Like here I'm underwater, but here I'm not. I mean, Why? And here I am. I think the bounding box of the underwater is kind of fucked up. Okay, let me try to change the parameter of the river and see if we can make it deeper. So with the same reasoning, it should, in theory, should be channel depth. Okay, so if I make it 500, no, no. 200, 2000, 200. Doesn't give a shit. Falloff angle 45, Falloff angle 70. Falloff angle 70. In theory, it should be this angle, right? Or not? 20, 90. Doesn't make any difference. Probably is this one. Probably is this one, huh? 30, 0, 2000, 0 difference. Falloff weight 1024. Okay, 20. Okay, so this is the thing. Edge offset. Okay. So this is the edge. This is the fall off. Okay, but it is the outside. I wanted to change the inside, but it seems that the inside I cannot really change it much. Yes, he's changing here. Yes, he's changing here. But the deepness that I don't understand. The deepness... Z offset. Maybe it's the Z offset 40. No. The Z offset is something else. It seems to change. It seems to change something here. Z offset 1. Z offset 500 is affecting the borders. Edge offset. By invert shape. Displacement height 30. Holy shit, what happened? Holy moly. 1 minus 10. Minus 10. Ah, here it is. Okay, like this you can make it deeper. Still you are losing a bit the... you make it deeper, but you make it weird. Now, this displacement height is making things weird. So it's not... Okay, maybe maybe I'm exaggerating a bit. So let me try to make a normal lake. And let me try to make a normal river. I was just testing a bit the boundaries, but I understand it probably is not a good idea. I think we are asking too much to the plugin. So let's just connect it normally like this. Right? Okay. Ah, my FPS are going to shit. Okay, now we have this very... But remember that here we can paint, if we want. If we want here, we can paint and make it nice, right? Now, I'm not really great at making it nice, but something like that. So you can... But the easiest is to do this. The easiest is probably to create a ramp like that, and then which is next to it, and then just sculpt it as you want, you know. The inside is a bit weird, but I think it's weird that you have this because I changed the parameters, and I think I changed them a bit too extreme. Like this fall off angle, instead of 80, maybe it should be like 50. No. No. I see that the river is so much harder to modify. Like a lot. I don't remember what is the setting that is saying curve ramp width 512. Ah, it's this one. This one made it way smoother. Okay. Is this curve ramp width that I used 30, and so it's making it all shitty. But if you make it larger, it becomes a decent river. Now here I don't know what is going on, and here I don't know what is going on, right? But in theory, that part is outside the... So in theory, I could be able to cover it. No, because I arrive maximum up to here, so I cannot really cover it. That is not very nice. I think it may be the result of the river just going... Okay, let me try to do this. Maybe there is a small trick. The small trick can be to add a point here, and then to move this one forward and down. No, it doesn't fix it. Why we have this thing? I don't know if this is the connection with the lake that is fucked up. I don't think it's the river itself that is fucked up. I think it's the connection with the lake. Because the river by itself, well, yes and no. Yeah. Is when the river, you see that the river by itself is not fucked up. Oh, by the way, nice effect. There is water going up instead of down, but it's still a nice effect. I like it. Hello, Green Coke. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing good, thank you. I'm testing this new water plugin of 426 and trying to understand how to use it and if it's usable. First of all, like we have a lot of wind here. Can we decide to have less curl noise? Is the curl noise this thing? If I do 1, doesn't make any difference. Displacement, no. Channel, no. Smooth blending, no. Terracing, no. Wave attenuation. Water depth at which the wave starts being attenuated. What the fuck? What does it mean? The depth of the water at which the wave starts being attenuated. I have no idea. 10. 10 is very strange. 500. Very strange. 2000. 7000. 9,000. 12,000. Okay. Now is a very, very quiet lake. Now is a very, very quiet lake. I mean, the fact that you can change the spline and everything automatically resides is very cool, I have to say. I mean, is very handy. Now, on the other side, I don't think that people are really designing 1 level per day, you know? So, I mean, how many rivers and lakes you're gonna make? And how many times you're gonna change them, you know? But anyway, I think it's a better way to probably maintain the landscape instead of doing it manually. So to have the height map, the height map, and having to, you know, to put the texture here, you need to have a geometry which is exactly the sides, and then if you change the height map somehow, you need to change the geometry as well. So this is very, very handy. I mean, it's very handy. Right? You can really decide a shape and he automatically resides the way you want. So, wow, that thing is going in places. So it is very handy. It is. The problem is how I mean, if there is Yeah, we have the edges like this because I was testing changing the values in a bit crazy way just to see how it was reacting. But yes, if I do a fall off of 60 or so, it will be better, right? And anyway, as we were saying, you are gonna paint, you know, you're gonna paint here. So the only thing that I really don't like, I really don't like, is that when you are painting like this and you are saying, for example, smooth, right? Is not considering this edge. So if I continue to smooth, you see that this thing is going down because it doesn't understand that this part actually exists. It thinks that this is 0. And so the smooth tool is basically not working anymore. But I think they will fix it. They will definitely fix it. You think I get the weird leaking because, okay, because the edges... Okay, I understand. Yeah, maybe. Let me try to put my river back where it was. Well, not exactly there. Anyway, it's working weird. I mean, the connection of a river with a lake at a different angle is not something that he really likes. Okay, I guess if I make it horizontal like this, you will probably like it way more, right? So I think that when you connect to another water body, you basically need to have your spline horizontal like this. I think that's probably the reason. But still, you know, sorry, still is a bit weird the way it connects. I mean, it really needs to be on the same plane, basically. So that, yeah, the original, yeah, the first connection needs to be on the same plane. There's no way. If you make it on the same plane, it becomes seamless, right? Which is very nice. Why this river is going up instead of down? But I think you can invert it. I've seen an invert something. Invert shape. No, invert shape is doing nothing. Okay, but in that case, I think you just need to... You just need to rotate it completely, I don't know. Can I rotate the wall river? No. Yes. I think you need to do it the opposite way. So this side will pay the... Yeah. So he has one side where he's going down and one side where he's going up. So you need to decide up front what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. But yes, the last point of the river needs absolutely to be the same height of the lake. Otherwise, it's going to look weird. And yes, and potentially also the tangent, you know, should be perpendicular to the lake. Otherwise, you're gonna get this weird stuff. Still, you know. Yeah, the last piece, I mean, you need to have 2 points that are going very horizontal, okay? Like this. Otherwise, the connection will look super stupid. So it needs to be the same height and it needs to be horizontal compared to the, no? And now the connection looks nice. There is still this thing. Sometimes there is still, you know, a bit of a, you see? A bit of a fuck up, but I mean, it's not too bad. You can place a bush. You can place a bush there and no one would see it. Yeah, the last 2 points of the river needs to be horizontal. Yes, exactly. It is what I'm saying. So if they are horizontal like this, then it seems to work nice. Whoa! We can go with a canoe. Like going down here like very fast. Like down and jump! Oh, very nice. But yes, I think that maintaining this thing is not super easy, but the system is cool. I just would like to know how much is costing at runtime in terms of performances, you know, if is pre-calculating everything or not. And here we are in the game. Wow. Wow, there is the water effect. Wow. There is the underwater effect. When I go close, it goes away. When I go close to my character, it goes away, but okay. I want to escape from this level. I want to escape. I will escape. What the fuck? Ba 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 bam. VVVPVP. I know it's Mega Man. But for sure he has a volume here, right? He has a post-process volume because otherwise he cannot do this effect. He doesn't have caustics on the ground, but they can probably be enabled. Maybe he has it disabled by default. Stat FPS. I have 120 FPS, but I have no idea how much it would be without. Now the landscape seems to work like a normal landscape, so I mean, I hope that the navigation is maintained. I mean, we can try. cannot enable it because I don't have the numpad. Why they're using the numpad for this? Please. Thank you. Yes. Now here it gets fucked up a bit, but I assume that it's connected anyway. So you will. So the guy we walk here is connected. Is just going over. Is just going inside this slope, but it's okay. It's going inside this slope for a few centimeters. And here probably is where my mesh finishes. Yes. No, but it seems to be. And I was just not showing it. No, it seems to be kind of fine. Obviously, it's approximating it, but it's based on the tessellation that I have on my nav mesh, which I guess now is fairly large and nice effect. Yes, but I think it should be fine. Okay, but here it's probably just because it's too steepy. What is this thing? Why there is this? I think this is the end of the river. No chest. No chest below the water. It doesn't swim. No, it doesn't. How much if you get console command T max FPS 0? So I think it's already like that. No? Or you think it's capped? I don't think it's capped. It's the same. It's 110. It's 110. I can go very far away. I mean, I did T max FPS 0. I can say T max FPS 200, but it stays the same. Now it's 120, 120, 130. I don't know what is the visibility, but it seems to be visible at a very large. Like the river, I can see it from here. But anyway, the water effect is nice. Should we use this or no? That's the question. I think it's much easier. The problem is that it seems to be a bit broken sometimes. The volume, I mean the water volume, the post-process volume seems to be a bit fucked up sometimes. Like, I don't know exactly when, but I saw some places where I was underwater and it was not looking like underwater. Right? Pom pom pom. Oh, I cannot go back. Really? design a level that is one way only. So if you exit from it, you're fucked. GG. Easy fix. Easy fix. Like for example here I was looking, or maybe it's an extreme case, but I know probably it's just the amount. Is the amount of I understand. Yeah, is the I think it's kind of a depth fade or whatever it's called. So the more far I am from the character, and the more blue it becomes, right? So when I go very close, it seems that there is no water effect because the camera is so close to the stuff that it needs to render. But this is probably something you can also change. So probably it's not bugged. It's just designed this way. But I think it's very cool. What else can we do? Because we have different. We have a water body custom. A water body exclusion volume. What do you mean? Water body. Yeah, I think this water is better probably. Yeah. Well, I think I'm testing it exactly to see if I can make it into a plane shift. Yes. I never spent a lot of time on water because this thing is nice. I never spent a lot of time on water because I knew that this was coming, you know, and so yes, I did some tests because I wanted to do it, but and because it was fun to do it, but I didn't really go crazy on it. This body island, I don't understand what is it. If I put it in the water, it does nothing. If I put it... Uh-oh. If I put it outside of the water, it does nothing, so I don't understand too much. What is it doing? No, I lost it. Ah. Okay. The problem is the cutoff of that, but probably you can decide it as well. Channel edge offset. Falloff angle 45. But Falloff angle 35 doesn't look like right. Maybe because the outside is too small or... You can have an underwater. You can have an underwater island. Yeah, we can test it in the game anyway. We can test it in plane shift and see, you know, if it's better. I think it's better than what we have. At least we have the surface, which is moving. I think it's moving too much, but we can fix it. And we can have, you know, a kind of an effect of being underwater. Even if I think my effect of being underwater was not bad. But, I mean, it seems that whatever I work on after 2 months or 3 months, Unreal Engine decides to put it into the engine. Which, I don't know, are they watching my stream or what? How can I make this not to be so shitty? It seems that whatever value I put, it doesn't make any difference. It's like if it's bounded by something. I mean, if it's bound, like if it's bound by something, and so I think they are copying me. It started when they follow my channel. They started to follow my channel and then they started to take all the ideas, you know. No, huh? Okay. Spline duration. What do you mean spline duration? Duration of the spline in seconds, 1 second? What do you mean? What do you mean by spline duration? But anyway, can I have an island which looks like an island? Okay, now that we learned all of this, right? I mean, I didn't follow the tutorial at all, but I think we know how to do this. We know how to do. You join 2 rivers. No. It's just modifying the spline. So I think that's fine. Now, controlling water, common property and features, key setting, wave control, post processing. Here we want to be. Here we want to be. Because yes, clicking on everything that is available is always nice, but following, you know, someone that actually knows how to do it is also a good idea.
What the spline affects and carves into the landscape, so you're free to experiment with this. And other than that, an important one here, make this a little bit wider, is water material. Now, when we talk about the architecture of the system, I'm going to talk about how it's using material and what's...
Water material, eh? We have a water material here, somewhere. I don't know where. Here it is, water material. There is a water waves asset. Gernschner Waves Lake. Okay. Very clear. And there is a water material. Underwater post-process material. Yeah, it's so nice anyway. So everything is pre-made, you know, for you. So you have already a slot. You already have a slot for the underwater post-process material, a slot for the water material, a slot for the waves. I mean, everything is done for you. So nice. So nice. So easy.
It's being done in the material, but essentially you can change the material there and you can change the underwater post-processing, which we'll talk about in a second as well, as here as well. These are the two most important ones, as well as the wave assets over here.
Okay.
Before we go to the waves, just want to highlight this setting here,
Wave
attenuation water depth.
Yes.
This is essentially how much it needs to flatten the waves when it comes near the shore. So dependent on the depth of the surface to the the ground underneath, it's going to start to flatten the waves. You can see that over here where the waves, you got proper waves there. You no longer have any waves near the shore. That is that setting over there. If we lower that, you're going to get waves near the shore, but then that's going to go wrong a little bit. So you're welcome to, you should definitely experiment a bit with that value, but that's what that does.
Okay, so when I increase the value, I was right? So I placed wave attenuation at like 12,000. So to make it nearly flat. Yes, but probably there is another way. Instead of using this, wow, there is a lot of waves with our little island. Instead of using this, you can probably change the water waves asset, which I don't know how it looks. Water waves lake. Wow, number of waves. Look at this, boys. You can decide the number of waves. You can decide the minimum wavelength, the maximum wavelength, the wavelength fall off, the amplitude. Holy shit. You can change everything you want just by default, but just by these things, right? Now I don't want to change it because it's the default. It's the default of Unreal. I don't want to mess it up, mess with it. But yeah, but I think it's something that we should use, boys. Sometimes you get some weird reflections, but I think we should use it. The only problem is if it's very heavy, you know, and if I don't know how scalable it is. Like if I go settings, engine scalability, low. What happens to my waves? Absolutely nothing. They are as nice as before. So are they? Is this thing scalable? Is this thing scaling in any way or? Not too much, huh? Or yes? Maybe yes. I mean, it looks more... I mean, it looks worse than before. Epic. No, I'm falling down. Yeah, it looks better, but not significantly better, but it looks a bit better. I think it depends a lot on the tangent to the light. Like, for example, if you look at it from here, It looks really like shit. Look at the waves. But if you look at it from the top, it looks nice. So it seems that it's more designed to be looked from the top. And also I think the very, very, very big waves is not a good idea. You see? You see that wave, how it came out? Look, look, look. But I think because I lowered the value so much. So that's my fault, it's not their fault. Because I had a wave attenuation of only 200, while I think that the default is 2000, right? So I think that I fucked it up a bit. Yeah, now it's not doing any more the crazy effect. Yeah, but I think we have a lot of parameters to play with, you know? A lot of parameters.
Waves, though. The waves are based on either an asset, or you can change it to actually being generated in the properties over here. So if I change it from an asset reference to simply Gerstner water waves, I will get the exact same thing as is in the asset, but I'll get it over here. So you can easily change all of these properties that control the waves.
Ah, that's very nice.
If you'd like to have more waves and the complexity goes up. Okay, I believe, if I'm correct, we support up to 100 waves. So you're welcome to, again, to experiment with that. You can change the minimum and maximum wavelengths, essentially the size of the waves, and the minimum and maximum amplitude is essentially the size of the wave.
Very
Experiment
nice.
Very nice. A really nice ocean and water surface going with these new features. But Unreal wouldn't be Unreal if you wouldn't be able to go much further than just that, right? If you wouldn't be able to tap into the power of the system and modify it as you see fit, make it adjustable for your specific, environment or your usage case, to a post-process material. Let's move forward by talking a little bit about how this works beneath the surface, so you better understand the system. Because it's really quite interesting what it does. So first of all, you need to understand it's using Landmass. Now, Landmass was a plugin that we released a while back, and essentially what Landmass does is it allows you to modify a height map, the landscape, through the use of blueprint and splines. So essentially you would be able to draw a spline, that's the shape of a mountain, and it would generate a mountain from that shape, and then you would be able to move that mountain around on the landscape by moving the spline and that whole actor, the whole blueprint around. You would be able to copy paste it and so on. So the water system right now is using that same landmass feature to draw islands and to draw the lakes.
Yeah, so is the fact that it's changing the height map automatically.
That also brings in a few limitations. It makes it really powerful to very quickly add rivers and lakes, etc., like you've just seen. It also brings in a few limitations we're going to discuss later. Now, once you drag in an ocean actor or similar, it's going to actually spawn two additional things in the background. It's going to spawn a water brush manager, and it's going to spawn a water mesh. You can see this also here in the scene. If you look in the world outliner, we can see that it has actually made, because here is the lake, the ocean, and the river. This is what we've made, but it made a landscape water brush manager, and it has made a water mesh actor. Now, the water brush manager is essentially capturing information about the world and passing that on to the water mesh that's about to be generated. So this is going to capture the height map of the landscape and a few other things. It's going to generate render targets from that. You can see here it's showing the render targets it generates. So it generates all of this, and then using the information that is stored in these render targets, and this is all happening in the background, but that's how the system works, the water mesh, which is the actual water surface itself, because the ocean is not actually the water surface. That is merely telling the water.
This is why when you change the shapes, you start to calculate something, because you see, if I change this, the FPS is starting to go low, and it seems that it's calculating something. So I think it's recalculating all this stuff, right? based on the shapes. Now the problem is okay, now it works because it's like this, right? But if I have a 50 kilometer by 50 kilometer world, right, like we have, well, not exactly, let's say a 10 kilometer by 10 kilometers, whatever, I mean, this height map will be insane. Probably it will keep it by, yeah, it will keep it by landscape. Yes, it will keep it by landscape. So it's one for each land. So this thing is generated by landscape. So I assumed if I create a new landscape, separate from this one, it's probably going to regenerate all of this separately. So there will be another landscape 2 water brush manager. Yeah. That's for sure how it works. Otherwise, it would be impossible to do it in a thingy. Okay, I think we did some reasoning on this. I don't know. I think we should finish, going through the rest of the tutorial a bit. But I think I understand now at least the basic capabilities, and I think it's very handy. It's giving you mainly if you are working on a large world like we are, and you have to create rivers, and maybe you have a city on the side, or you have a small village, and you have to move the river. That would be so easy to move the river away, and everything will work, assuming that you are setting the right materials. I don't know if the floor needs to be, how are you managing the materials of the landscape? Is it using, is it using this material, or can you paint on it? And what happens to the paint if you then move the spline, So I don't know if he's keeping the painting on. Unfortunately, I don't have, in this example, we don't have a proper landscape. Because our landscape is a bit stupid. It's only one layer. And I don't remember how to... add more layers to it. Landscape material. Landscape material override. LOD index. I can try to add something else. But I don't think he's here. At least I don't know. Let me try. No, it's not this. It's not this landscape material over. By the way, I made it all gold. Wow. Holy moly. I want to walk in gold. Look at that. What is this line? Look at this. Everything is gold, boys. We became rich immediately. So maybe a single plane with a good material would be easy. I don't know, we need to test it a bit more, but it seems to be very good. I like it with the gold so much. The gold is super nice. I don't remember how to make a landscape material. You know what? We can import it from the other project. But the problem is that it's becoming a bit late. I cannot stay too much tonight. But I think we made good findings, good test. And I think I have an understanding how it works. A bit of the limitations. How it interacts with the height map. I need to test more, but I think it's good. I think it's good. We don't have a lot of water at the moment in the game. Our water is pretty bad. Land of the bling bling. Yeah. Land of the money. Look at this. You can mine it all. You can mine all this gold. Look at how much gold is here. Even the island is made of gold. Look how it's shiny. Even the waves sometimes are reflecting the gold below it. Okay. Okay. Guys, I think I'm gonna go. Meanwhile, if you are new to the stream, it would be nice if you can click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. And also if you can check our Patreon site. By the way, we are 45 now. We are 45 Patreons, so actually I should update our market. So we reached 45. Let me see if I can say 45. Yes, 45 out of 45. So I will leave it like this for a few days, and then maybe we can shoot for 50. But thank you a lot for everyone that is supporting us and watching the streams and interacting with us and looking forward to the game. But that's very nice. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go. So have a good night. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be streaming as well. And yes, dream to be in this island made full of gold. I think it would be a nice dream. Dream to be in an island made full of gold. See you, boys. See you. Bye bye.